Hello and welcome. This is episode 8 of my to-do list, and today I'm getting my ceramic coating. It is a beautiful day, and it's good because I need my images today to look fantastic. My plan is to offset some of the cost for the ceramic coating, which isn't cheap, by producing a great video that they like and that they're willing to pay me so they can have it on their website and for their own use. So that's my challenge, and their challenge will obviously be to get the most out of my car.
When I arrived at the detailing studio, I found Mark putting the final touches on a stunning 2011 Dodge Challenger. Now, normally that's not my kind of car, but I have to admit it looked clean and powerful. I decided to skip the obnoxious talking to the camera routine and instead focused on capturing some clean shots of every step of the process, so here's how it went down. First up was the decontamination. Before the car even entered the studio, Mark's son Matt made sure it was spotless. He used special chemicals to reveal any tar and iron buildup. Since I keep my car pretty clean, this part wasn't too challenging, I hope. It took Matt about an hour before he moved the car into the studio, where he continued blow drying it. It definitely looked more professional than me using my leaf blower at home. Once the car was dry, they applied painter's tape to protect the trim around the windows from any unwanted chemicals. After some fine inspection and checking the thickness of the paint on each panel, it was time to choose a test spot to ensure they were using the right products for the next step. And the next step is definitely the most labor intensive. Paint correction and buffing all around the car. Each panel can be slightly different in terms of paint condition, and when the paint layer is thin, they have to be extra careful. The tree sap on the roof, though, proved to be stubborn. Even the last resort, using very fine sandpaper, didn't really work too well. It almost seemed like the sap had fully integrated into the paint. I watched Mark work hard at it, but eventually we realized that he could probably spend 2 days on the roof before he'd get it to the state where he'd be happy to apply the ceramic coating. Once the coating is applied, the paint is locked in. The wise decision was to take some extra time if I wanted it done right. And I think that was the right call. I don't want it to be done just for the sake of it. We also decided to remove the 300TE emblem. There's just no other way around it if I wanted everything cleaned and coated properly. So finally, after about 3 or 4 hours, the car was ready. The product of choice is Fireball Silla, a coating with a supposed 5-year life cycle given the right maintenance. We put on masks to avoid headaches from the strong chemicals, then applied 2 layers of coating. I was surprised at how little product is actually needed. The whole car supposedly only needs about 1/3 of the bottle. The process is simple: first coat, then a second coat after 10 minutes, and 25 minutes later the product needs to be removed. I say simple, but if I did it, it would not look as good as it looks now. Mark and Matt literally worked overtime to finish off the final touches so that the car could stay in the clean garage environment overnight, allowing the coat to settle properly.
So I've picked up the car today and it looks fantastic. It's parked outside. We'll go out there in a bit, take a closer look, but we've got some things we need to do before we can get there, which is number 1, we need to put the emblem back in place. And for that we need to prepare it because there is glue still stuck on the back. So the other option would be to use some kind of dissolvent for the glue, but I'm not sure how aggressive that would be on this part. And also this is free, so I'm just using heat, I'm just using a bit of my time, making sure that I'm not breaking anything, not scratching it too much. At the back, I'm using the blade. I wouldn't use that at the front, of course, just because I don't want to ruin it, but for the back it's absolutely fine. So I just went to the kitchen, used some hot water instead of this, because this just heats it up and then it immediately cools down again. The hot water kind of continuously made the glue easier to remove. So now we're almost fully removed. We can see the number, you can see all the logos. It's quite cool. I just need to add some final touches with the blade on what's still stuck on there, and then I can get to the glue. It's pretty clean, maybe tiny bits and pieces if we look close, but I think that's gonna work out just fine. So effectively, this is what I was gonna do. I was just gonna cut out a piece here, piece there, and then just put it together. Just to show you what I've done. I've got some painter's tape here, and I know that it perfectly aligns with this line here. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Don't overthink it. So now I'll take off all the red stuff. All of it removed. It's looking really good. There's a little hair attached to it. Okay. Now this has to be a one hit. I've only got one try. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's the good distance. That's a good distance. I think I've done pretty well. I mean, it's not perfect. Yeah, I feel like maybe I just got it a millimeter too low on this side. It didn't look like it when I put it on. You know, it's stuck there now. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's very sunny today, so you probably won't be able to tell just how perfect this looks. It almost feels like a new car. They did a fantastic job. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased. There's tiny little bits and pieces, little micro dents and scratches. It's going to be impossible to maintain that to a perfect level. But honestly, this is close. This is right up there. So I won't bother in showing you more footage now of the car. I think you've probably seen enough, and there'll be more the next weeks. The more interesting thing to talk about is the price, and did I manage to get a discount? When I came back on Thursday after filming all day, I couldn't resist. I put it all onto my computer and I put together a little sequence. I interviewed Mark for about 10 minutes, so I had some audio bites from that. I picked some music, I picked some shots, and I just put something together that a coherent story that worked. And usually I don't do this. Usually I wouldn't send something out that isn't done yet, because clients, they don't see the vision that you have in your head for once it's finished. In this case, I think it made sense to send him something before I spent more and more time on it. And ultimately it really paid off. The coating, the whole job I would have said cost me between $1,100 and $1,500. It always depends on which coat you pick and how much work, I guess, is involved in the whole process. But when he put down the numbers at the start, the first time I talked to him, it was around between $1,100 and $1,500. Let's say $1,300, just to stay in the middle there somewhere. So when I got there and we had a chat, we went to a place to take some pictures of the car, and then we had the discussion. So in the end, he reduced it down to $300, which I think is a great deal. I would have filmed this anyway. Obviously, I spent a bit of an extra amount of time getting what I think he might like. And I'm also probably going to come back in the future to get a few more shots if he needs anything. It's really nice that we've built up a bit of a relationship here. I got what I wanted. I hope he got what he didn't know he wanted, but now he's got it. And for the end of today's video, I will probably play the video that I've created for him as far as I have it today.
We're a family-run business, father, son, and wife. We've trained overseas and learnt from some of the best in the world. We really specialise on our core specialties. Welcome, I'm Mark from MC Detailing Studio. Our three main things are paint protection film on cars, ceramic coating, and paint correction of scratches. We've got 6K brightness lights in here. We need a really clean environment with no dust particles in the air. If it's not right, then we redo it, so we strive for perfection in every install. Generally, we like to see the vehicle, and we'll do a free 30-minute assessment of the vehicle, and then we'll put a game plan in place for you. Your car's probably going to have iron fallout from brakes. It's probably going to have tree sap. Possibly we'll have tar on it as well, so we'll decontaminate the car. Generally, we'd start off with a really nice paint correction or buff of the vehicle. Remove any spiderwebbing or scratches on your car or dull paintwork and restore it back to original or new looking. Paint protection film is a clear film that goes over the vehicles that stops stone chips and marks and is near invisible. Protects your investment. You're buying a car, it's probably the second biggest investment you buy. Well worthwhile to protect it, and when you go to sell it, we can pull it off again and there'll be no marks on the vehicle. We also do ceramic coating on vehicles, making them really nice and hydrophobic and easy to clean and really nice and glossy. The ceramic coating's between 3 to 5 years, but we will generally get you back once a year to do a maintenance coat, so effectively we could probably extend the life of that coating for 10 years. We look forward to you coming and seeing us, and we'll make your car look $1 million.
I will probably put in some more work for him just to polish it off so he can use it on his website, on his Facebook, wherever he likes. And with that, I'd like to end it for today's video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.